I got a call from my friend Michael Ray, who's a physician assistant with Aurora in Sheboygan about 5 years ago, I think. And Michael had been down to this mission orphanage in Mexico and met this guy Sergio, who had been in an electrical accident years earlier. I think when he was 12 years old, Sergio, while hiking in Baja, California, had an electrical wire come down and amputate his legs below the knee on the right side and above the knee on the left side, and ended up having surgery and unfortunately developed some real painful amputation stumps that precluded him from really comfortable or practical use of his prostheses. So even though he had prostheses for his legs, he just couldn't use them practically. So he's essentially wheelchair bound as a young, healthy guy. Michael just called me in a whim, and because Mike and I had served together over in Afghanistan. Actually, I met Mike back in 2003 in Bagram, Afghanistan. Just by coincidence, our Army units meshed together, and we found out that we were essentially neighbors, me in Manitowoc, Mike in Sheboygan, and Mike knew that I'd done a lot of amputation type work in my military deployment. So that's kind of how it all came together. Mike called me, I said, sure, I'd be willing to help out Sergio, let's see if we can get him up here. And then through the efforts of lots of folks, especially the Sorensens in Sheboygan, a lot of effort and prayer and work with governments, we finally made it happen. And Sergio just recently got all of his clearance and paperwork and whatever else is involved for him to come up across the border and come up to Wisconsin to get this done. And all kinds of arrangements have been made to make this happen, from the surgery to the hospital stay and the rehabilitation and the prosthetic fitting, and he's got a place to stay while he's here, and there's just a tremendous effort behind the whole mission here. The main problem that Sergio was having was on the right side. The amputation stump just healed so poorly that he had pain, and his prosthesis that he had just did not fit well. But there was some bony prominence on the outer aspect, and there was a skin graft right over that, was very thin, so it needed to be revised. So that was the operation that Dr. Steve Schmidt and I performed together for Sergio this past Wednesday. As we revised the amputation, we reshaped the bone. That was my main portion of the surgery, and then Dr. Schmidt worked his plastic surgery magic to optimize the soft tissue coverage over the bone. And as this heals, that should create a much more durable and comfortable stump for prosthetic fitting. In Sergio's case, having amputations on both legs, it makes it difficult. It requires a lot of energy to use prosthetics on both legs, especially on the left side where he has an amputation above the knee. So, but with this operation and the rehabilitation and fitting of a modern, comfortable, custom-fit prosthesis for both of his legs, he'll be able to walk. This should greatly improve his quality of life. Well, neither of us had met Sergio prior to this past week, so we really didn't know what we were getting into. All I could go by was the description of the problem from Michael Ray from years ago when he met Sergio at the Mexican mission, and a couple of photographs, but nothing that gave us detail. But I figured that there was going to be more than just a bony problem. I know from my experience, especially military experience, that an optimal amputation stump requires good soft tissue coverage, and that's where Dr. Schmidt's expertise really came in perfectly here. It was really a great joint effort to accomplish this goal. You know, medicine in general, we're called, well, most healthcare providers are called to medicine with the desire to help people. But a case like this is special because there are a lot of people involved, and everyone's kind of going above and beyond to help out this man, to help improve his quality of life. So it is a privilege to be involved in this effort, and it's a good example where like many things in life, there's greater joy in giving than receiving, so to speak. And just to get to know this man and have a chance to help him and help his family, it's rewarding.